It's that time of year in Canada when our wardrobe goes from this to this. Hi creative friends, I'm Jane from Sustain My Craft Habit. Along with changing up our wardrobe comes changing up all the stuff that's in my front entryway. We gotta put those boots and hats and gloves away and pull out the flip-flops and sun hats and glasses. So I thought this would be a great opportunity to get a little bit of organization with the help of my Cricut Joy while I put some of that winter stuff away for the season and then bring out all of that fun summer stuff. So let's get started with a little bit of spring cleaning. And then we'll get to make 2 types of cute labels to help organize the front entryway with my Cricut Joy. So I'm fortunate to have a good amount of closet space and a couple rows of shelves, but I honestly have forgotten what's in there. And so I just went and pulled everything out, and there are bags and boxes of various gloves and hats, and then there's summer stuff all mixed together. It's just a huge disorganized mess. So I'm going to try to, well, purge as much as I can, donate some things that I know that we're not going to use anymore, and then consolidate the other things into some better organized bins with labels. We have this coat rack here in the corner because there's 6 of us in the house. There's always coats everywhere or sweaters. They've kind of accumulated with all the winter ones, and now I'm just going through them all one by one, seeing which ones need to be washed, which ones are too small, which ones we want to donate, and which ones we need to pack away for the winter. The winter coats that I know my girls or my son will wear next year still will go upstairs into a part of their closet where we have a little bit more room than down here. And then I just keep this area down here for those spring jackets, light jackets, and sweaters. I always struggle with how to put away all those hats and scarves and gloves. This year I got myself some clear bins that will fit up on the shelves above, and then sorted the girls' pieces and my pieces into their own bins. And then I'll be adding some cute labels to these. Next, I tackled all the boots. Again, the goal was to donate anything that was going to be too small for next year, and then I simply wiped down the boots, trying to clean them up as much as I could and put them all in this one big bin. My husband and son have their own closet over by the entrance to the garage, so we try to put the boys' stuff over there. Now that I'd taken all the drawers out and all the stuff out of the drawers, I thought it'd be a good idea to just wipe down all the dust. This is part of the spring cleaning. It's nice to be able to get outside. I took these drawers out just to leave the dust out there, and then vacuumed and put them all back in. This little unit we've had forever, and it just is such a workhorse for our family by the front door. Now that everything was all sorted and cleaned up, I pulled out my Cricut Joy to make some labels. So I made 2 different types. I used the Smart label here to make those for the plastic bins. And the cool thing is that you can put in the pen, the Cricut Joy pen, and then the Smart labels right inside, and then the pen writes on the label, and the blade will then cut out the label themselves. It's super quick and easy. I picked a template out of Cricut's Design Space that had kind of this pretty shape with a little border around it. Each Cricut cutting machine comes with the free Design Space app, which has all sorts of free designs in there, and with an Access membership you can get thousands of additional fonts, designs, and projects that you can customize and make your own. So now I just sliced those out and then weeded the excess vinyl, and this was ready then to go onto my bins. For the second type of labels, I wanted to create cute little tags to put on that cabinet unit that we have by the front door, just so that the kids know what is supposed to go in each of the drawers. For this one, I used the Smart Iron-On in a white iron-on vinyl, and then again picked some designs out of Cricut's Design Space and cut those out using my Cricut Joy. I separated out each of the little icon designs. I had sunglasses and sun hats and baseball caps, so one to represent each of the drawers. And then once those were cut out, I made my little tags. So if I was using my Cricut Maker, I could have cut out the fabric tags with the maker itself, but I was using my Cricut Joy for this project, so I simply created a little template from a piece of paper and then used that to cut out these tag shapes on some scrap canvas that I had. I have this blue canvas fabric. I thought it would also be cute to do with some leftover denim, but I didn't have that here. So any fabric. And I cut out 6 of those, and then once those were cut out, I just gave them a little iron so that they would be ready to apply my design. I originally thought I was going to use these strips that I'd also cut out of the canvas for the hanger part, but you'll see in a minute that I ended up going with just a ribbon. Now the fun part, I weeded the excess iron-on vinyl from the design, and then I simply placed that, centered that onto my tag, warmed it up with my little Easy Press Mini, placed the iron-on vinyl down, and pressed that in place. It's so quick and easy, really satisfying to do. The white vinyl stood out so nicely against the blue canvas fabric. So I repeated this process with all my other little designs. I did one with some of these sunglasses, another one with a sunblock, and then we have one drawer that just has a bunch of band-aids and different things that we need in emergencies. So this is the ribbon, this black and white check ribbon that I decided to make the tags with, and so I sewed those on just by hand and then added a little clip so that I could basically take these tags on and off. To be honest, it's been a while since I'd done any hand sewing, so this was actually really satisfying and fun to do. I put one of the sides on the clip itself and then the other end on the piece of ribbon, the end of the ribbon. I just folded that down so that it would be extra secure and not fray too much after a little bit of use. I really love how these turned out and can totally see myself doing some for the winter stuff again when we bring that out at the end of the summer season. Although they'd be fine as they are, I decided to spray the tags with a little bit of fabric stiffener and then let that dry, and that really helped to make the tags really stiff and not be too floppy. Once they were dry, I actually just flattened them out a bit with my Easy Press Mini by placing it in between 2 sheets of parchment paper and then pressing them. Look how cute. And actually the fabric stiffener worked really good because it protects the canvas from fraying too much. So I was able to trim off any of the frayed areas to make them look really clean and tidy. And there we go. Now that the tags were all done, I was able to easily clip them onto the handles of the drawers. Look how cute this looks. I really like the combination of the blue with the dark wood of my unit. And there's my little first aid drawer. Look how fun. So I think this will just be a fun way for the kids to keep track of where everything needs to go, hopefully encourage them to put stuff away. And once those were on, I went and added my little labels to the bins with the gloves and hats and scarves. And look how pretty this looks. It just gives it a really cohesive look with the kind of beveled design. And now I know exactly what is in each piece. Thank you for joining me as I spring cleaned my front entryway and got a little more organized for the upcoming season. This spring cleaning ended up being a lot more fun by being able to incorporate a little bit of crafting and getting some organization with my Cricut Joy. It feels really good to be starting the new season all organized and clean. We'll see how long we'll be able to keep it this way. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe for more DIY projects and Cricut craft ideas. Happy crafting!